What is up? What is going on, everybody? It has been a minute, but I am back with the Seattle Mariners series recap this time. Before I get into this extremely disappointing series, do me the three favors. If you can like the video, comment your thoughts on the team and the games down below, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new or lurking. Let's start out with the positives from this sweep that the Mariners suffered at the hands of the Arizona Diamondbacks. First positive. Let me just give an update while I'm doing a series recap real quick. Went to the game Monday. First positive, got to meet Gavin from Up West Sports. Go subscribe to their channel if you have not. If you're watching this, my friend, it was awesome to get to meet you, hang out, watch a ball game. Despite the result not being what we wanted, a ton of fun to hang out. Obviously being in Arizona, I don't get to see a lot of the Mariners content creator community that has so many amazing people, but it's cool to get to hang out with, when I can, with people that are in, my neck of the woods. So it's awesome to get to meet you and hang out and watch the game. So that was the first positive. But anyways, long game, didn't get home. I live like an hour from Chase Field, so I didn't get home till almost midnight. I'm up for work at like 5:30. I couldn't do it. Tuesday night, I actually was able to watch the game. I didn't think I would. I was able to find a way to watch it, but I had to get up for work at 3 this morning so I could get to the game this afternoon to hang out and watch it. So it just didn't work out to do the post-game recaps. Positive number 2 is I got to go to 2 of these games, and that doesn't make the losses less bad or crappy, but I don't get to go to a lot of Mariners games, not being in Seattle, so I will take a day at the ballpark over anything. If I was a Rockies fan, I would still love to go to the ballpark and experience it. It's still fun. It's still a blast. So probably the only 2 Mariner games I'm going to get to this year. So it was fun to be able to get to 2 games. Third positive is I need to give a shout out to 3 people in the Mariners organization. I took my youngest son, my wife, father-in-law, and my youngest son. My older 2 kids didn't go, went to his first Mariners game ever today. Brought his baseball and his Sharpie to get some autographs. I don't think they do BP sometimes on getaway days and afternoon games. So it was tough, but we got 3. So shout out Pete Woodworth, signed the ball. Bullpen catcher Fleming Baez signed the ball. And then Mitch Garver also signed my son's ball. So not that I think any of those 3 are watching that, but if you are, you helped make his day. He had so much fun at his first Mariners game. So always a good reminder that none of what we talk about, none of our disappointments is a personal thing, right? This is all stuff that is just baseball related. And this game and how great it can go beyond the results on the field. So it was very cool of all 3 to sign for him. And he had a great time. So it made it, a good day. Boy, this team stinks right now. Let's get into just the negative, and that is everything else. Just literally nothing going right. My anger is just not there anymore. The apathy is starting to set in. The Mariners are now under 500. They're 33-34. Nothing continues to go right. I mean, it sounds cliche, but when the pitching's good, the hitting isn't good. When the hitting's good, the pitching isn't good. When they can't hit with it, they can't hit with runners in scoring position. It's all home run driven, which is fine if you hit a ton of home runs, but nobody getting base knocks with runners on, pitchers not being able to hold leads. It just a mess all the way around. I mean, they scored some runs, they had 4, 3, and 2, but how many runners in scoring position, once again, does this team leave on? Even on Monday, that 4-run rally in the 9th, ton of fun. It was great to be there. It was really cool to see it and, and like I said, enjoy with Up West Sports and hang out. And it was crazy that they came back with 2 outs, nobody on, scored 4 runs. And that's great. But how many opportunities did they have in that game? So many innings with a couple guys on, just looking for a base knock, not asking for 5 straight doubles or 3 straight home runs, nothing. Then you get to extra innings and you've got a free runner in the 10th and the 11th, nothing. It feels like that has happened so much to this team that year in extra innings where they just can't get that guy across. And it was the story. Like the 9th inning was great, but if you could have just done a little bit more damage with some runners on earlier in the game, even a run or 2, maybe that's a W. Maybe you win that baseball game. Yesterday, same thing. They get a couple home runs from Rowdy and Randy, and then they finally get a hit with runners in scoring position yesterday. and it's in like the 8th inning when it's already 9-2. So many base runners yesterday. So many. I mean, they put like 9 or 10 against Brandon Pfaadt in 5+ innings, and the only runs they got were those 2 solo home runs. So many opportunities there. Today they didn't quite put the base runners on, but even in this one, Julio in the 6th, leadoff double, does not score. Top of the 7th after getting down 5-2, first and second one out, double play. Even in the first inning, Polo gets the kind of bloop that falls in, but that's it. They don't add on or score anything else after that. Just dreadful with runners in scoring position. No one else to say. And again, we're not asking for 25 straight hits, but I say it again, who's going to put one in the gap there to get that 3-4-0 lead? Who's going to do it? No one's doing it. Now, unfortunately, to get that 3-4-0 lead, let's go to the other side of it. I don't trust that they'd hold the lead. Two runs is not enough. But Brian Wu also blew it in the 6th inning today, right? Like that 6th inning was the only inning Arizona scored in. I mean, it doesn't matter if you score 17 runs, if it's only in one inning, but you can win games 2-0. We've seen this team do it. Outside of George Kirby on Sunday in Anaheim, where is that 7 shutout inning start? Where is that 7 1/3, 1 earned run start? You're not getting it. This is 2 games in a row now where Brian Wu has let up a 2-run lead in the 6th inning, actually. Did against Baltimore, and then again today against the Diamondbacks. Again, I want to come down on too hard on Wu. He's been really good, but they were winnable, right? The Mariners were, 9-10 outs away, 3 to 6 outs away from getting to their clutch end of their bullpen a little bit. Should the offense have scored more? Absolutely they should have. Absolutely they deserve a ton of blame for today. But it's not impossible to win that game 2-0. It's not. And, Wu gives up 5 runs. I mean, like he gives up 2. Gives up 5, kind of puts you out of the baseball game. Logan Evans was that. Bryce Miller, by the way, back to the injured list. At this point, just get the surgery. Shut him down. Like, it's not working. Get right, get better, and get out there for 2026. I don't think we'll see Bryce Miller again. I know they talked about, in 2 weeks, reevaluating. Medical teams know better than I do, 100%, but I would just, at this point, kind of shut it down. I think it's best if he's got those bone spurs that are bothering him, just get it taken care of. Just get it taken care of, and we'll see it 2026. Anyways, my point though, like, was Brian Wu awful? No, but not good enough. Was Logan Evans awful? No, but not good enough. Emerson Hancock was fine on Monday, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. I mean, that should be fine. I mean, you'd like to see maybe a little bit deeper into the game, but and he wasn't great. 3 walks, 3 Ks, but again, Hancock just kind of finding a way, to get it done there in those situations. So I won't really get on him, but Evans and Wu have got to be better. We talked about it on Saturday. Like, again, it's the Angels. Castillo's got to be better. Friday, Miller's got to be better. It's everything, right? It's all around. Even the bullpen a little bit. Vargas gives up the grand slam on Monday. Dan too. Like, I kind of get not using Munoz and Brash in that game because then you don't have them the next day potentially. But guess what happened? You ended up not needing them on Tuesday because he got blown out, and you used Brash and Spire today because you have tomorrow off, so might as well. Should just go on to Brash on Monday. Maybe he gets you through the 11th. Maybe you put up 3 or 4 runs, and you can turn it over to, I don't know who was left in the bullpen at that point, but I don't want to say Trent Thornton, but Jackson Kowar maybe. I'm done with Trent Thornton. That's another thing. I apologize for defending him. He wasn't terrible last year. He was not this bad last year. I mean, the guy just can't come in and not give up a home run. I'm done. I don't think they'll release him because I think they owe him too much money, and I don't think they'll just let that go. But I'm not into all that. I'm done. I can't. That inning yesterday, I got on Colin Snyder for some of his pitching, against the Nationals as the worst innings. That inning Thornton threw yesterday might have been the worst. That might have been worse than Snyder's. And it took you out of the ball game. It was 4-2. 2-run game, different offensive approach, bloop and a blast, maybe you tie it up. Instead, you get down, 9-2 and game's over. Welcome back, Dominic Canzone. I thought Canzone had a really nice series. Obviously, the home run on Monday was absolutely crushed. 116 off the bat, 450 feet. A bomb, an absolute bomb from Canzone. And that's what he can do. Leody Taveras was DFA'd. I don't think I've talked about that yet. I think it was worth it. I wasn't against picking up Tavares. I wouldn't even mind if he can get through waivers and stick in Tacoma for depth. I don't think that's terrible to have some outfield depth, but I like going with the more offensive upside player in Canzone. So yeah, he hits the game-tying bomb on Monday. Can't believe they threw him a fastball. You don't throw Dom Canzone a fastball. He can rip those. I actually thought his at-bat against Beeks in the 11th, where he was punched down on a pitch that was very borderline in that inning, was a decent at-bat against a lefty where he struggled. And then he had a double yesterday off of Fott. And today he pinched hit and worked a walk. He did strike out. Listen, he's going to strike out. He's certainly not a perfect player. That goes without saying. I even saw some plays in the outfield that there was a ball that he kind of dove for, didn't get. Probably a ball that Taveras catch. Although Taveras was making outfield mistakes, but I do think there could be a decent player in Dom Canzone. And right now, with the way the team is going, just run him out there. See if he's found something. It is worth it right now. With the way this team is playing, just give Dom the at-bats and see. See if there is something in there that can develop into, a nice, maybe a really solid platoon outfield bat, or maybe a just above average everyday outfielder. See if that's in there with Canzone right now. But he had a real nice series, 100%. Donovan Solano actually has swung the bat really well. I saw a tweet, I think it was from Marine Layer podcast, that since May 15th, Solano has a 117 WRC plus. He homers today. Donovan Solano goes deep. I was there for the Donnie Barrels home run. I will remember it always. But he's been swinging the bat a lot better. I've always talked about with Solano, you're not going to see it in the overall numbers necessarily because he's not a guy that's going to, it's kind of interesting that him and Rowdy Tellez are platoon partners because they're so different. Rowdy can just get on a home run tear and you're like, dude, there it is. That's why you like him. Solano's not going to do that, but he's just kind of going to quietly kind of do what he's done the last month. I wouldn't have guessed that. It's probably up to like 119, 120 now over the last month. The problem is like Donovan Solano's a part-time baseball player, so that's not going to pull you out of the slump that the team is in. He's not enough. I can't believe I'm even talking about that, but I mean, Solano has been decent for the past month. So, good sign. It's just bad. I mean, when they were 6-7 over 500, we were saying, hey, if they can just go 30-30 over the next 60 games, you'll probably be within a game of first place, holding on to a wild card spot, something to that realm, something in that, I would guess you'd be in that range. They've been 9 games under 500 since then. They've undone it all. This is a below 500 team. They have I'm pretty sure, a negative run differential. Let me just check what it is. Actually, I'm curious now what their run differential is. I'm sure it's negative. It is negative 14. So it's not even like, it sits at plus 50 where you can say, man, they've lost every coin flip game. There does seem to be some bad breaks, like the pitch to Naylor today, I think could have been strike 3. The first pitch to Gino could have been a strike. There was one on Monday where Canzone was punched out on a pitch that Perdomo was given a ball on. So I don't want to act like it does feel like everything has gone wrong, including the breaks for the Mariners. But that's countered because we notice it more with the bad baseball, right? Like it's just on top of it. You can still overcome those things. Those things are not something that's not why they're losing baseball games. It just adds the cherry, right? It's the cherry to the sundae of losing is, oh, by the way, you ain't getting the calls either. So, I mean, we're 67 games in, and this is a very mediocre baseball team. They'll win games again. I'll say it, they will win. If they can get Gilbert and Rayleigh back, I do believe this team has a hot streak in them, but they just always undo it. Every year I say that. And they usually do have some kind of hot streak. Of course they will, right? They're an okay baseball team. They will, like, maybe this homestand, they go 4-2, right? It wouldn't totally shock me. I mean, right now I can't even envision the Mariners winning a game. So actually it would completely shock me. But that's baseball, right? But even that, okay, you're 37-36. I mean, even if they do go on the streak, I just don't trust them to hold it. Then they'll have one of these streaks again. That's what this team is. They're streaky, but at the end, it just kind of comes back to the middle a little bit. It just always seems to kind of, and they haven't been 500. They've been above 500, to be fair, the last few years. But it's just, they're never as good as their peak, and they're probably not as bad as this, but the truth is in the middle, and the middle is an overall record of 33 and 34. Are they as bad as they are now? No, but they also weren't as good as they were in April. So where does that leave you? It leaves you with the overall picture of this team. And it's frustrating. Are they going to have some games like this where they hold on and win 2-0? Sure, I think once Logan gets back in there, I believe Brian Woo's capable of holding those games, but the pitching just isn't there. It's not as dominant. Truthfully, I don't even know if it's been good. Like, Woo's been solid. Kirby, fantastic against the Angels. I mean, Emerson Hancock's fine, but as a back end guy, listen, I don't want to. Logan Evans has absolutely done his job, but I view him as more of a back end guy right now. Bryce Miller doesn't have it. Castillo's been really good. He has, but there's hit or miss there sometimes with him. And you've been missing Logan. It looks like he'll be back, I think, for this homestand. But even then, like, he hasn't been in a major league mound in a month, over a month. We saw it with George Kirby. Now, Logan hasn't been out quite as long, but it might take some time. Bryce Miller came back. It didn't automatically solve anything. So right now you've got Brian Wu and Castillo, who have both been good, but are susceptible to what we saw today. George Kirby working his way back. Emerson Hancock and Logan Gilbert working his way back. Even the bullpen, right? Like, Munoz is outstanding. Brash is outstanding. Spire's outstanding. Vargas is not lights out, but he's fine. But what's happened in these games? Casey Legumina gives up 2 runs on Monday, makes it 4-0. Maybe he doesn't do that. The Canzone home run wins it. Trent Thornton, need we say more? Coors looked all right, but not great. Bizardo is okay, but not great. And listen, not every bullpen's going to have 10 lights out guys, but you go back to 2022 when this team made the playoffs, and it was, right? You trusted all those guys. If Sewald or Munoz were down, you trusted Eric Swanson. You trusted, Diego Castillo. Did he have a little Fernando Rodney in him where you're like, biting the nails? Yes, but he got it done. Even like Matt Festa and Penn Murphy were decent. They were probably more in like the, that middle category, but they were really good in that middle tier of the bullpen. Who else did you have? I don't remember. Who else? I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Like Matthew Boyd did a nice job for them in September. I don't know, but like, you did have, those weapons that were there, and it was lights out, and you just don't have it all the way this year. It's not a terrible bullpen, but it's not great. It's same with the rotation. It's not a bad rotation right now. It's not great. The offense isn't terrible, but it's not great. It's not hitting with runners in scoring position. And you put all that together, and it's kind of like, the offense okay. You got some guys and go deep. Julio had a real nice game today. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic there. Hope that didn't cause any weird noises. Julio, real nice game. But Cal didn't have a great series. He was robbed of a home run yesterday. Cal deserves, some leeway or some forgiveness, but Cal wasn't great. Even in the 9th inning on Monday, thought for sure Cal coming up there, we were going to get a big fly or something. Just felt it. Didn't happen. Randy's been really hit or miss. He can get hot and be streaky, but when he's cold, it's bad. Polanco has hit better recently, but it's a lot of singles. It's a lot of like bloop and base hits. Better than nothing, but he has lost the power. Dylan Moore's been atrocious. I mean, I haven't seen Dylan Moore not swing through a fastball down the middle in the last month. You're getting nothing from Dylan Moore. Your lefty guys are hurting you. Garver with the 1 home run this year. Like, even last year, as much as he was frustrated, there's still some pop in there. Still a guy that was hitting 18 to 20 home runs. I didn't think we'd be saying this, but I wish we had 2024 Garver right now. That would be helping this team probably. Solano's been better, but he's still been bad. His OPS is still below 500. And then on top of it, like I said, with that, you're not getting the pitchers. You're not getting 7 shutout from Brian Wu. It shouldn't all be on Brian Wu, but he's got to be better in that sixth inning. You're getting more of starts where it's like when they're solid, it's Hancock, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. And then, Kirby's finally settled in, hopefully. But, Evans, 4 2/3, 3 earned runs. And then, Wu today, when you need that 7-8 shutout innings, you're not getting it. And then, and listen, you got not using Brash on Monday. I get it. I do. Use Munoz and Brash. Munoz had pitched both days. He's probably going to be down Tuesday, and Brash is not pitching back to back. But you didn't win any of the games. So you save Brash for a game that doesn't exist. Maybe you win that again. Use Brash in the 11th. Vargas got you through the 10th. Use Brash in the 11th. Well, then Jay, or, what do you do in the 12th? I don't know. Maybe at that point, sure. Then you go, listen, we got to go to Trent Thornton. It is what it is, right? You can't do anything at that point. And I would get it. I'd be like, hey, what else can Dan do there? Maybe you score 6 runs. Maybe you have a big inning. And then Thornton's able to maybe close it down. Still be on the edge of our seats. And the other thing is too, like, and I'm not done with the season, right? Like I won't give up until, that white flag is up there and they're eliminated. But this team is just kind of boring. There's not a lot. The farm system's great, but they're not like here yet. Cole Young's fun, but there's just not a lot of like big young talent coming up either. It's not like, hey, if the team was strong, at least, Colt Emerson and Laz Montez are going to be here in a couple weeks or something like that. And, you got the trade deadline coming up and, I don't know where the team's going to be buyers right now. We'll see when we get there. We'll get closer. We'll see if they can get it turned around. They're certainly not out of it. The AL West is mediocre. They could still win this division. Do I think it's going to happen? Of course not right now, but it is there as a possibility. So I just, it's kind of, it looks like just a mediocre baseball team. Yes, they are better than this stretch. Of course, they're not 1-5 bad. Like they're not going to lose 5 out of every 6, but they're also in one of those stretches I talk about where I don't even know what a Mariners win looks like. I don't know what they can do. I thought that 4-run rally on Monday was it. I was like, here we go. We won yesterday. They're going to come. They've come back. They're going to win this one now in extras. And we got a little streak going, right? That would have put them at, let's see, because they're 33 and 30, 34 and 31. Like, let's go, win one more, win a series, and go back home 3 over 500 and, not where we want to be, but, okay. But then just implodes. So I really don't have a ton else. I had a great time, like I said, meeting up with sports. Again, shout out to Baez, Pete Woodworth, and Mitch Garver for signing for my boy. That was, a great experience. So always fun to be at the ballpark. Day off tomorrow. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't really want to watch this team right now. That stinks to say. Baseball's still great, but and I will 100% be watching the game on Friday. But man, it's going to be one of those. It's on the TV, and that's about it. They got to start winning games for me to get not reinvested. I'm invested, but to get me like, okay, like this team's going to have like a 5-1 homestand to kind of get me to buy back in here a little bit. And I just can't see that right now. But, baseball shocks us. So have a great night, everybody. Enjoy your Wednesday. Love you all. Take care. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.